Alright, hello everyone, it's Happy, and today we're going to be talking about the E3. Recently we talked about the E4, so it only makes sense that we would also talk about this tank at the same time. Haven't made a video regarding this tank in ages, but of course this is a typical standard tier 10 tank destroyer. Now the gun is quite unique because it has a pretty decent alpha per shot. And of course, don't forget the E3's legendary armor. Before the Minotauro and before all these crazy armored tanks like the Object 268 version 4, the E3 used to be the king because everyone used to complain about this tank's armor. It was very, very strong, especially in a hull down situation. You would never ever penetrate this tank anywhere apart from the lower plate. And again, if this tank was hull down, you're not going to do anything to it unless you're a Jagdpanzer E100 with gold. Even then, you would struggle a lot against this tank. So what are the actual, negatives of this tank, you would ask? And that is definitely going to be the mobility. The mobility on this thing sucks. And of course, it doesn't have a turret, so it's going to be really hard to fight off mediums and light tanks. Imagine you're in a 1 versus 1 situation or something like that, or you're alone on the flank because, your whole team is dead. Well, you're pretty much screwed against any medium or light tank unless you're close to cover because, they can just get behind you and there's nothing you're going to be able to do. But this is not only the E3's problem, this is a problem of a lot of tank destroyers. So let's not talk about it as if this is only the E3. Apart from that, you have the mediocre gun handling. That is definitely an issue on this thing because the gun handling will not allow you to work properly. Firstly, the aim time is quite mediocre, and of course the accuracy is also going to be, subpar compared to its other tier 10 tanks. So what does the E3 really take it with? And that is again simply going to be the armor. Without the armor profile, this tank wouldn't be as good as it was and is. However, it's being more or less power crept nowadays because now you have the E4 as we talked about previously. And of course, you have a lot of premium and collector tanks at tier 10, which are going to be much better than this tank in a lot of other situations. For example, the Minotauro is going to have a much better armor profile frontally. And of course, the Minotauro also has a turret, which means that it's harder to circle relative to that of the E3. You have the Object 268 version 4, which also has very good alpha, but also has better armor frontally. So again, you have a lot of tanks coming out nowadays that are going to be a little bit better than the E3. However, if you don't have the money or if you don't have the gold, then the E3 is still going to be that tech tree armored tank destroyer readily available for you. And it's not that this tank is bad, it's just that there are a little bit better tanks out there relative to this one. But overall, it's still a solid choice, again, both for newer players and older players, because you can't really go wrong with the E3. Even though this tank does have a lot of disadvantages, it's quite fun to play, especially on the front line in a city map or against heavies. This tank will do wonders because, again, penning this tank, especially in close range, is going to be really, really hard. So tell me what you guys think about this in the comment section below. And with that, Happy is out, and I'll definitely see you guys next time. Bye-bye.